The only other question that was what came up was also blew my mind when I actually saw it a few weeks back. But someone pointed it out again, and it was hot drinks and how they can kind of cause tongue cancer. But for someone that's obviously grown up drinking tea in England, hot drinks have been a natural part of my life for a long
Right.
time. And I think most people drink coffee on a day-to-day basis and don't realize that it might be affecting them in some way.
That's right. In America here, they have people drinking like hot Starbucks coffee and putting it in cardboard cups that are lined with plastic. And now they've got plastic in there, drinking down hot substances that have plastic in their body. It's insanity. But yes, it's true that exposure to the microburns from repetitive use of hot beverages increases risk of tongue and throat cancer from microburning your surfaces. So that we shouldn't eat things that are steaming hot. And we should, they could be warm hot, but not hot hot. Anything a little hot, let it cool down a little bit. Don't have it. So absolutely, that's true. Um, and also, um, it's sweet, and we shouldn't be drinking sugary beverages either. Which our sugar, when we're eating sugar from fruit, we shouldn't be drinking it as apple juice. We shouldn't be drinking even oat milk or rice milk, which are liquid carbohydrates. We shouldn't be taking our carbohydrate in liquid form. It should be chewed in the mouth, mixed with saliva, and have the fiber intact to grow the bacteria and have it more slowly absorb the carbohydrate. And then when you're mixing with saliva, you're producing endothelial growth factors, which have a beneficial effect on the lining of the gut. The combination of the hot drink and the sugary drinks are both damaging to people's health.
So when it does come to things like oat milk, almond milk, any of those kind of milks, it's obviously better to have the oats or the almonds that are still full of fiber instead of having the liquidized version of it that's kind of broken down and created a substance that it wouldn't normally be natural to the natural world, I guess.
Right, but if you're using, I'd prefer you to use soy milk, hemp milk, almond milk over oat milk and rice milk or apple juice or fruit juice because you're taking a liquid, because soy milk is not high in carbohydrate and there's not much carbohydrate in nuts and seeds, so we're not taking liquid carbohydrates. We're talking about not taking, and so sure, we don't want to drink a lot of liquid milks, but having a half a cup of soy milk on your morning oats or something with berries and nuts, or some almond hemp milk. I'm saying that's better than using oat or rice milk because I'm trying to have people not take in liquid carbohydrates,
Mm.
which are absorbed too much glucose, absorbs too rapidly into the bloodstream.
That's
But that's using an unfortified soy milk, not one with folic acid in it, right? Where the only ingredients are just organic soybeans and purified water.
So when it comes to those things, we should kind of be looking at the ingredients on the back just to make sure it is literally just as little as possible. So as you say, like soybean and filtered water instead
Yeah,
of.
water and organic soybeans. That's it. That's the only ingredient. I use a little soy milk, but that's fine.
And then it's probably also easier probably to make that yourself to make sure you're getting the cleanest version as well in comparison to going to a shop. Because I don't know many, especially over here in England, how easy it is to get a soy milk that hasn't got more than 5 ingredients in it.
Oh,
Um,
really? Oh, we can get that here.
oh wow.
Here in the
Yeah,
States.
I don't know how many there is unless you go to like the natural food stores. But I think as well we are in a society where there's a ton of different milks, but it's hard to find. Then you have to kind of go out your way and find the right stores for it.
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy to put, like, you can put almonds and hemp seeds and walnuts in a blender and usually a 7-to-1 ratio. Or 6-to-1 makes it a little thick, 7-to-1 makes it pretty thin. So usually make it 7-to-1, where you do 7 cups of water to 1 cup of nuts and seeds. And then you blend it down in the Vitamix very fine. You don't have to strain it. You don't have to take the fiber out. Just put it like that. And you can add one medjool date to the mix and a little bit of vanilla if you want to make it taste a little better. And you have this essentially a nut milk that's thin enough with enough water in it so you're not overdoing the nuts. You know what I mean?
Mm, that actually sounds real good. But before I do let you go, um, one question that did come up was what does a day in or what does a breakfast look like for you? on a day-to-day basis, for someone that's looking to kind of, become more of a nutritarian, what would a breakfast look like, or your go-to breakfast?
Yeah, I can give you my whole day. I mean, I follow a pretty
Yeah.
similar skeleton day to day. And because I make the same skeleton for the guests in my patients, because this way it's reproducible. They know what to do every day.
Hmm.
So it's a small amount of cooked grain. It's like not, a third of a cup to a half a cup of grain, because I have the whole cup of berries or pomegranates or wild blueberries or blackberries in there. So I have more fruit than grain. It's about double the amount of fruit compared to the grain. And then I put in the two tablespoons of ground flax and chia seeds. So I've ground 2 tablespoons and then I put the plant milk on top of that. That's my basic breakfast. I might have something else besides that, but usually that's it. Some will have some black lentils or something, oat groats with lentils or something with berries, whatever it is. So it's usually a small amount of grain, a larger amount of fruit and seeds and some plant milk. And then for lunch, I always have a big salad with the green vegetables and onions and the raw greens and the sprouts and the tomatoes and a bowl of vegetable bean soup with mushrooms and beans in there. And I use the nut and seed based dressing on my salad, or it may be orange, sesame, cashew, or it may be like a thickened garlicky tomato sauce with almonds and black fig vinegar and little. So I usually have a dressing made with a healthy dressing, not with oil, but with nuts and seeds in it, in a large salad, which I'm taking my time to chew really well, and then having a bowl of soup with some fruit for dessert, some figs or a mango for dessert or something. And then
Hmm.
for dinner, I'll have more raw vegetables with a dip, maybe a guacamole dip or a hummus dip or a salsa dip with raw vegetables like bok choy or snow pea pods or something like that. And then I'll have mostly a cooked vegetable wok or a mixed cooked vegetable dish with a lot of amount of green vegetables like asparagus and string beans and broccoli and broccoli and garlic and artichokes and things like that and then maybe a little, you know, a small, some small amount of dessert or something that's made with like I made my homemade banana ice cream last night. I took banana, soy milk, real vanilla bean powder, and a little and walnuts, and I just blended it down to a little bit of ice cream. And I put some cocoa nibs in that, in the vanilla ice cream. So, but largely I'm having a robust amount of green vegetables, like whether it's broccoli or artichokes. I'm intentionally trying to eat, by eating the raw greens and the cooked greens, it enables me to eat more vegetables than I normally would, than just have had everything raw. So adding the cooked vegetables, and so I try to have a little bit of nuts and a little bit of bean and green vegetables with lunch, and some nuts and beans and greens with dinner as well too. And there's cooked and there's raw in both meals. So I have some raw vegetables and cooked vegetables with dinner, and I had some cooked beans and usually some mushrooms in there too. And for lunch, I also had a lot of raw and maybe a little less, but still had cooked beans and cooked food with at the same time.
That sounds beautiful, actually. That sounds nutritiously beautiful, and I love it.